Hello and thank you for watching my video. This is going to be another one of my project demos, and today I will talk a little bit about my project, Carleton Student Project Partner Finder. So this project was done in the fall semester of 2015 with two of my very smart teammates, and we had a blast programming this project in C++ with Qt in our software engineering course. And as a computer science student, we don't get many of these software engineering collaborative projects, as most of them are single student to avoid plagiarism. So I had a very much fun working with two of my teammates on this particular one. Of course, you can go down to my GitHub repository. My username is zcharlie, and this project will be up for public downloads right now. So one thing I'll mention before we start is that you must run this project on a Unix system. We are doing some built-in calls that are only available with the GCC compiler, and as well as we're using shell scripting for a component of our system. Alright, so let's now boot up the system. As you can see, this is a login screen. There's no password prompt, just to help the TA mark this easier so he doesn't have to remember a bunch of passwords. So basically what this system does is it allows students to register and also allows professors to register. And professors can create projects that they use inside they have inside their classes, and students can register for these projects. Basically, a student profile consists of their skills, their competencies, and also what they look for in their teammates. And basically, we built an algorithm to assess the students' needs and the students' competencies so that we can build a project group for the instructors fairly. I will create a new account this time because I guess we can. zcharlie, and I will register myself as a student. So as I come into this student interface, so this entire UI was done in CSS 2.0. We were really surprised how powerful CSS was integrated with Qt, because it allowed us to do some stuff like this. We can select different fonts and color schemes and change them on the fly like that, which was really amazing to us. But the point of this video is not to show you the UI, it was to show you how this program worked. So here I'm creating a PPP, which stands for Project Partner Profile. And a student would really log on here, and they must create a PPP in order to register for any project. And first thing they would write is probably their CGPA. We have a 12-point CGPA at Carleton, so, well, I'm not exactly 12, but I am 11.3. And they would rank rank themselves on basically what they're good at and what their competencies are. On the first page, of course. On the second page, they would select 5 different characteristics that they think that they are, or they best describes themselves. So organized is probably hardworking and a sense of humor, but no more than 5. And the purpose of this is to have to match people with similar work ethics and personality, because we do believe similarity will improve the efficiency of a team. And of course, lastly, we have what you want out of a team. Of course, a lot of students will be like, oh, I want the best of this, I want the best of the scripter, I want the best database guy. Yes, I know, we have a solution for that. So when I start saving changes, it gives me a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Literally, one account gets one chance to answer technical questions. And the purpose of having these technical questions is that we can have students who register themselves as, I want the best, but I am not the best, or I am very 60 average, but I want the 90s, I want the people in the hundreds. So this will really determine whether they deserve those guys or not. I'm just going to enter some random stuff here. You guys, if you have time, you guys can answer this with a little more detail, but the purpose of this test is to gauge whether they are well suited to have someone strong on their team. It's basically a way to normalize their score, which we generate from what they choose in the previous forms. And yeah, there's a coding question, but I don't want to do that coding question right now, so I provide the answer to that right here. You can go to my GitHub page and simply just copy and paste it into here. All right, so I believe this is the answer for max marks, and when you're ready, you just have to submit the answer and watch it work. All right, okay, it's a success. Basically, what has happened was we started a shell script on the back that compiled the C function, and we ran it against our test files. Basically, our test files would consist of, I think, about 5 million, an array of 5 million integers, and basically you have to find the max 3 numbers inside those 5 million integers. All right, so as you can see, I didn't get very well on the multiple choice, but I did very well on the coding question. So this is going to attribute to my profile score, and which in the end, when the administrator is creating teams for these projects that are here, it will take in consideration of the competencies that I have, and also the competencies from the partners that I want. So I can register in a few. I'll register in this one, okay, and then it suddenly shows up in my recent projects. And also, if I have a list of recent projects that I've registered, it will show up into my projects, because this little block here only has 3 projects max, I believe. Yeah, so that will fill up pretty quickly. I can just keep on registering for more, and I think I've hit the max for this little widget right there. Okay, so that is pretty much how a student gets registered, and we will show what happens to the administrator then. Alright, so we're going to be making some teams for these 15 registered students, and I will log into one of my administrator accounts. I believe his name is Leo. Let's see. Yeah, Leonidas Hall. Alright, so this guy is a administrator, so he does not have the profile settings, but he can create projects here. He can create a new fascinating project, and then there's basically some team size configurations that we can use. Maybe projects of 3. I like team size of 3. Anything larger is a little harder to manage. And of course, you can edit the projects here. Of course. There's also the recent projects that I created. So there's a top 3, but I have 4. Well, I was going to show you how we make teams, right? Okay, so this project has 15 students, probably the best to use because more test requirements. Team size 4, maybe I'll do team size 3 so we can see a little more teams. Alright, all I have to do is create teams here. And this interface is the summary of the team match. And I'll go into a little detail about what is going on here. Alright, so the algorithm works like this. It tries to match people based on their wants and needs. So the first score that we see here, the 89, is actually their personal technical score, while the second number is their teammate want technical score. And this team right here must complement each other in their teammate wants and needs. So technically, as you can see here, the first Dabby, he can tolerate someone with the 70 score. So definitely the next person that comes into his team must be 70 or above. And Amy Farrah Fowler, she can tolerate a 62, and as well we will match someone who's 66 with Sebastian. And because Sebastian also wants someone who's higher, Sebastian gets put into his team because Dabby is one of their higher, just has a higher score. And this is just simply what we're trying to do to balance these teams, so students with lower technical scores may also team up with someone who's stronger, who can learn from them. And of course, everybody in this team must have similar work ethics and personality traits, because if you have someone who's 180 from each other, it won't be perfect. The team will have very high cohesion, and you can see that this pattern repeats through every single team that we build until we get to the last few teams where these guys are really the outliers, like me right here, who's not very smart, who has very low technical score. But yeah, the reason why is because there's the deviation between all the students in this team is high, and maybe we don't have the same work habits, and it just knows that, well, these are the last few people that we're matching, so sorry, 1 out of 5 teams is bad, the rest are perfect. All right, so of course we have this detailed report, and it shows the team technical score based on the aggregation of all the students, and the acceptance score, which is what the team wanted, and an aggregation of all the team want technical score. And all perfect teams have very close acceptance and technical scores, and we obviously give them a satisfiability score based on that. And here we have a log that shows all the students that we've added and the algorithm's operations, that we know that the algorithm had oversatisfied the team's last request. So we're going to relax that requirement and allow someone with a lower technical score to join the team, because we don't want to stack all the good students in one team. We want everyone to learn equally as well. And we can take a edge case here that we see. The satisfiability score is very low because everybody wants someone who's better, but there just isn't anybody who's strong in Team 5. We have a negative satisfiability score, and it shows that, yep, when we're adding people, we know that the team is undersatisfied for the last request, but we have to put in another person in there, so we added myself in there as an extreme measure to neutralize the team satisfiability score. So that pretty much wraps up this presentation for cuPID, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to take a look at this application, just download it straight from my GitHub. I will be posting the analysis documents for design and requirements elicitation soon. I'll also post up the algorithm design document, because I know that's not up there just yet. It's a few pages to talk about a little more of the algorithm in depth, and we put a lot of time and work into this project, probably a good 20 hours a week. Saturday, Sundays just been crunch days. And we're really proud of the result. It really gave us a nice twist to our computer science degree, for sure. Well, okay, thank you so much for watching this video, and later, next time. Bye-bye.